Taoist Magic Talk Show brought to you by Taoist Master Ji Sifu and Teen Dragon Taoism. Hurang Tenjun. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. This is your Ji Sifu right here. Today we're going to have a very special episode because we're going to talk about something a little bit more technical for our disciples or disciples to be, and this is on Taoist chanting. So I got some question today from my disciples, so I decided to make an episode on it, and so that people can use this episode as a 101 reference. So, talking about chanting, okay? What we may mean by chanting is like you look at our spell books or the scriptures books, right? We have them on our website. You go to teendragon.com. On the download page, there are tons of them, okay? You see scriptures, spells, and things like that, right? Okay, so you're reciting these things. Why are you doing it? There are different purposes. You can be cultivating, like you're actually doing the training, or you can be just reviewing, like you're practicing. You can be trying to learn it, just learning the word, or practicing the word. So it's like you can be actually using them, or you're just reviewing them and trying to get better at it. It depends. Daily, there should be some spells that are reviewed all the time. And some spells is like, yeah, you can review it when you're trying to memorize it, if you're trying to memorize it. But as you use it a lot, like use it all the time, you will also memorize the spell because you use it all the time and it becomes so natural, right? So like the cleansing spell, the Jing spell, it will be something that you use every day. And if you don't, you got a problem because you haven't find the ways to use it yet, and you need to learn how to use it. So ask me online about it, okay? So if you use it all the time, you should at least like kind of be able to memorize some of it, okay? Now, talking about chanting, you will see that we have some samples, audio samples on the website that you can download. It's on the bottom section, where you see there's a small menu and it's called exclusive products. So those are for our disciples, and once you purchase one of these, it gives you the MP3 and also an empowerment for you for those spells. So it's a double, and you can get those and learn from the MP3. There are different melodies that you might recognize. It's like, oh, how come the same spell, but you have different melodies of chanting it? Okay, so here is the thing. There are three main pitch that we use when we chant. If you're a beginner, you'll be using what we call the middle pitch. Okay, so it's like the way how you talk. Like right now, I'm talking like this, then you'll be chanting like that. For example, I'm chanting the mouth cleansing spell. 好心好心，换下不清，主气冲天，好心炯炯，keep keep 有心龙珠下头灵 like that. Okay, so how you speak is how you chant. That is medium pitch. Now there are also high pitch and low pitch. These are to be taught and trained at the upper level. So, like newbies, you cannot do it. It's not something that you can imitate because it's hard. It's something that you need to learn in class, and I need to teach you and keep fine-tuning you to get you to that proper pitch, and it's not easy. Okay, so it's like this. It can get a little bit higher, right? Or 好心好心，万家不见，主气中天，好心炯炯，keep keep 有心龙珠下努力. Okay, it can lower than that, but it's you get a idea, right? So there are high, low. Why do we need those? High and low pitch and so on. Well, You see, we talk about different levels of gods, like where they are. There are local gods, right? Local gods, like the gods at your altar, local, right? Or the god in your body is local. It's like where you are, that's where the gods are, okay? Now, when you talk to these gods, okay, when you're talking to these gods, local gods, then you use the local, the middle pitch, right? When we're talking to the gods that are high above, like in the celestial court, where you need to go higher than the local, then we need a high pitch. When we talk to the gods that are inside and lower than us, which is like when we're talking to, for example, our landlord, our lower altar, okay, lower deck altar, that department, or the troops who are like the celestial troop who are inside your altar, like the army inside your altar, those are like lower than you. So you need the low pitch to talk to them, okay? So that's why we have different pitch. There are also different kind of drag sound. Drag sound is kind of like a way to add a sound after the word. For example, the word is hao xin wan cha bu chim. So every word you might have a drag. Hao xin wan cha bu chim. You see, every word there's a drag, like another sound that drags the word. Right? This is called drag sound. So there is like a single drag, double drag, big drag, long drag, real drag, different kind of drag sound. And drag sound, okay, look, the drag sound is like how the sound or how the words are going forward. Like how is it being executed, right? So this actually sets the magical power or the property of the spell to be doing like what kind of thing. For example, you can be doing the same spell with a single drag sound, which will become a positive effect. So you're asking the god to do something positive, like add on something, empower something, boost something, bless and make it better. Like you got a kick already, and I'm like putting more chocolate on top. It's like giving you extra help, better stuff, making it better, okay, like that. When we do a double drag, it's a negative. So you're asking the god to take away something. There are scriptures where you ask the god to take away the bad energies. You can use the double drag sound. There are spells that we use what we call the big drag, which is often a combo of single and double. Big drag is like this, okay? For example, the same line, hao xin wan cha bu chim, okay? So it's like a 2-1-1. Okay, like this. Hao xin, so sorry. Hao xin wan cha bu chim. So like that, okay? So it's like 2-1-1. So usually it's like in the spell book I might note it, but it depends on like when you're using it. Okay, so these big drag, okay, the combo of single and double big drag means that the action needs to be taken right away, and it's often done for like spells that are like a command, like you got to do it right now, not just help, not just take away or give me, it's like you need to do it. And that is something that we used to do with the Jing spell too, the cleansing spell. But it depends, like when are you doing it, for what purpose, and so on. Like if you're doing it daily at the altar to empower yourself in the morning, that will be a single track sound. But if we're like, oh, you got like evil energy on you and you need to clean it up, then you need to chant in the big drag. Okay. I found a longer spell to demo with the big drag sounds that would sound better. The short spell is so weird. Anyway, here, this is altar purifying spell. Okay. 天将你啊娘啊，阴阳的火那枪啊，西风的响啊哈那，为何的说那用哦，三罗的花那讲啊，他那讲啊讲啊讲哦。心中天啊，主家那不啊去啊，天里同啊牛，给那有爱路啊like that. Okay, that's a big drag sound. Now, in comparison, the double drag is like you're asking the god to tick away. So sometimes, like, okay, I do the ultra purifying spell for the god to help me suck away the bad stuff, okay, to suck away like a vacuum, right? Then it will be chanted like this. Ten chana liang yim yang hun chong sui fong xiong na hui wo na so yo na sam no ne ha tia na tan chong chung chung sui no den na na tu tia na mo ki ten ni ne thon ni kim kim ne yu e lu like that, okay? So you see, these are like different ways to chant. There's also a long drag. Long drag is to build energy, like to like, for example, like we're doing the prayers and we're trying to like build up a big pool of energy, preparing to do something, like do a whole ceremony. Okay, you're like cooking up the energy. So when you're doing that kind of thing, you will need the long drag sound, and it's like every note you drag about 8 beats, and it sounds very slow. Okay, so here's the White Crane Deity prayer, and I'm gonna like do like 1 or 2 lines just to, give you an example. So the words are like that. Yin gan xin xia gip so gip nan, like that. Okay, let's go. Yin You see, 8 notes. I'm not going to continue because it's going to waste a lot of time, but you get the idea, right? Very, very long, and these are like long drag sound. Anyway, there are other kind of drags, such as what we call the Rio drag, and it's a little bit different. Like in our 3 ordained, okay. Like that, okay? So, anyway, so I demo a few of these just for your, fulfill your curiosity, right? But when are you going to use this? When is, well, everything is like, the words are there, okay? How to use it, when to use what, that you need to learn from me online. When I teach you the spell, I will also tell you how to chant it, and you will know. And then you keep practicing and learning, and you'll get it, right? Eventually. So chanting is not easy. And one thing that besides the magical purpose of chanting is that it's a very good exercise for your organs, for your energy, for your body. It's like people who sing opera, it's lots of internal work going on, and you really do sweat, like when you sing and chant like that, you're using your inner energy. It's like all that stuff is going on. It gets you very hot. It gets you sweating, and it's not like you just sing the words. That's it. It's a lot of work inside. So besides the magical purpose, it's also a health preserving tool. While you do the magic, you're also working out internally with all that energy work, and it's very cool. So chanting, it's part of what we do every day. And some people will be kind of scared of, like, oh, do I need to memorize all these words? I don't even know what they mean, right? Yeah. Here, I need to tell you that you don't need to know what the word means in order for them to work, because it's like you're talking to the gods, and the God knows what it means. So when you chant, you know what you're chanting. Like, okay, for example, I'm chanting the White Crane Deity prayer. You know the title, you know what it is. You chant, that's the right intention. I am chanting the prayer. You don't need to know the word inside the prayer, because you know I'm doing this as a prayer, right? So you know what it is, then it's okay. I'm doing this like mouth cleansing spell, then you're cleansing the mouth, right? That's the intention. So you know what you're doing, then the intention is right. You don't need to know it like word by word what it means, okay? But you need to chant like the word need to be correct. So you chant that God knows your language, then it's okay. You don't need to know it. It's like a code, you know, programming code, right? The computer knows what the code means. You don't need to know, right? What do we do when we do web design? Or we go around and search for a certain snipnet, like, you know, a bunch of code, and then we copy and we paste it into our website and then expect it to work. And if it doesn't work, we go and scream in the forum and ask people, right? So basically that's what it is like, okay? You just need the code, and the spells and the chanting, everything is like a code, okay? So you do that, the God will know what you want, and it's gonna work that way. But you got to do a good job, like trying to follow the words. So the first thing that you should be doing is learning how to say the word. And if you're not sure, learn to ask. Don't be so quiet, you know. Like if you're not sure how that word is pronounced, you don't just like kind of slur by it, you know. For example, like this 8 words, okay? 宁干信下 give su give nan. Some people will be like, they kind of slur by it, and it's like, so how do you say it? You know, when you want to say it out loud, how do you say it? You got to know how every word is pronounced precisely. If you don't, you ask me, right? It's not that hard. You just ask me, I will tell you and like show you right away. And after you got the word clear and precise, then you learn to chant it with a melody. So usually the first recording that I will suggest you to listen to is a very clear, slow down, and precise kind of pronunciation, like 应该心下 keep su keep nan keep ham keep yong fi ten tuan di, like that, right? So you can kind of follow the word 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, like that. And once you can follow this and learn how to pronounce the word, you get used to it for a while, your mouth can make that sound, then you can follow with the other drag sound or other melodies, and it will be better because you are not like slurring by and it's like, whatever, you know, like just get through it. You know, people are like that. They just get over it. And you don't really care about the details. And that's a problem, right? Spending the time to learn the details is like you're committing to it. Once you commit to it, it's like your heart is being put into it. That God can feel your sincerity, right? Like you are actually serious about it. You're committing to it. But if you're like, oh, I'll just get it done, whatever, right? And then you just chant like that God also feel your heart. And it's like, oh, well, you don't care anyway. Why do I have to help you? So you got to understand that it's a kind of respect to chant properly. And of course, like precisely, right? So learn slowly when you start. Try to ask more questions online, and that will really help. Anyway, so my timer is up today, and if you guys want to learn, check out my website, tinadragon.com, and you can get initiated, which is free, or you can get ordained and have direct teachings and so on. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you in another episode. Bye-bye.